I am so excited to talk about this. I feel like we have to make so many decisions, and I experienced something called decision fatigue. Looking it up, I learned that we make over 35,000 decisions a day. That's a lot of decision making. But in 2026, I decided I wanted to make less decisions. So these are some things I've been testing out that have made me think less about the little things so I can pay more attention to the things that really matter. They're in 5 different categories to hopefully save you some time and brain space for more important goals you have. Let's get right into it. Category number 1 is morning rituals. My mornings used to be very chaotic. I have adapted a slower morning. It has required me to wake up earlier, but it make sure that I have all the things in place in order for me to function for that day. These are the 3 things that have just set the tone for me in general to make sure that I have a good day. The first one is eating the same thing every morning, and that's like a bowl of oats, almond butter, dates, and a fruit of my choice, and maybe some chickpeas or a little protein on the side. I eat that every single day. And if I'm going somewhere and I'm not going to be able to sit down and eat breakfast, I will take it with me. Just because I know that recipe allows me to feel full throughout half of the day. If I don't eat that, I can tell because I feel different. So just test and see what works for you, but have a set breakfast that you know is going to keep you full, not give you a sugar rush, and you won't be craving something later. The next thing I do is template style workouts. I'm very loose with this because in 2025, I wanted to be less rigid. I used to go in the gym and lift all the weights. I told my mother-in-law how much I would do glute lifts with, and she was like, why does your butt need to be that strong? I was like, you got a point. So I do dumbbells. It really happened after my dad died. I was like, I have 30 minutes. And if 10 minutes are spent racking the weights, then this is taking way too long. Mondays, I like to do my runs. It's colder. I'll either run on the treadmill, or if I'm running outside, I won't run as far, but I have a set goal in mind. I try to do the hardest workout in the beginning of the week, and then I'll just do arms, legs, and then anything after those days is just a win. And then on Saturdays, I like to do my yoga. This is something I want to try in 2026, and those are set affirmations. So every morning throughout my morning devotional, my writing routine, I try to write affirmations. I typically have to come up with them, but I want to create a bowl or something where I can just pull them out and read them and pick one that resonates with me instead of me having to think of one for the day based on the scripture or the passage that I read. Those are my morning rituals, and by the time I've started working, I've eliminated like 10 decisions already. The next category is personal systems. Getting dressed can be such a thought process. What I'll typically do is plan my outfit beforehand. I have a rack, and if I have a lot going on, I'll put each day's outfit on that rack because it eliminates having to think about it. And then I try to plan my outfits when I'm in a good mood. So like Saturday or Sunday, if I'm excited about going somewhere, I will plan the outfit. So as I'm taking it off the rack, it's easy. The other thing that I started doing was saving outfits that I liked. I have an album on my phone called Outfit of the Day, and I can go back through and think about what I want to wear. And I feel like when you take a picture in something, it freezes in your brain. So I also know what goes well with what. Part of this too is getting rid of what doesn't fit, what you haven't put hands on yet. I started doing clothing swaps with my friends, and that's been so much fun. The next category is my daily logistics, and so that is just removing friction from your everyday. I used to live in Texas where we had to drive everywhere. Moved to New York, absolutely loved the transit system. And now I'm in Chicago. It's a blend of both. The biggest part about having a car in Chicago is where to put it. And parking can be so stressful. I've contemplated just going home because I could not find parking. So to eliminate that, I use Spot Hero to help me find a parking spot, and it has been such a lifesaver. I just put the address in, I go there, there's a spot for me, and it's so much easier. That's something that has saved me a lot of time and helps me enter the space with the energy I left the house with, instead of being frustrated because I had to spend 10 minutes to try to fit my car into this little bitty space. If I know that I'm going somewhere, I've started to bring a book with me because I want to read more. You can have your book on your phone, but there are so many other shiny apps on our phones. So it's helped to ground me to bring a book with me and making sure that I have a purse large enough to fit said book. The next category is money management. This is something that I picked up during 2020, and that is having multiple accounts for multiple things. Because if I see the money in my account, I'm going to spend it. So it has to get out of my account as soon as it comes in. So I have 4 or 5 bank accounts. I have one for groceries and another for bills. I'll move the money over there and set the bills on automatic so I don't have to think about it. Then I have a discretionary account for eating out and buying things or events. I also have a travel account. So I'll put money there for my travel expenses. It alleviates the anxiety of having to check your account over and over again. The next thing is social settings. These are all super fun things. The first one, because I've lived in a city where people want to travel and visit and they want to see what's in the city. Even when I lived in Houston, New York, Chicago, I have a template guest experience. We already have it planned out, so we'll know exactly where we take you in Chicago. I also keep that list on a notes app so I can send it to people. I have one for New York that's coded with emojis. So it takes the guesswork out of when people come, you're like, okay, what are we going to do? You already have that plan set in place. I am really big on making playlists, and they're for different moods. And it's so fun when you make playlists. You can share the jam with your friends. I've only did this once, but it was so exciting. And it's like the version of sharing the aux cord when you can share the playlist and then they could just add whatever. That's been a lot of fun for me. And I have a playlist just for me and Kevin when we're in the car, the songs we like to listen to. I have one for when my mom gets in the car. It's less thinking. So hopefully these tips are something that you can take. It's giving you permission to be boring, because doing the same thing over and over can be mundane. But I think it's important that we have a mix of what is mundane, so when we are handling life's uncertainties, there is something that is stable. I am making less decisions. I am thinking less, so I can have more time to create and to play. If you are interested in inviting play into your life, I encourage you to take a look at this video where I talk about how healing it was to play and how we get away from it as an adult, but our inner child needs it most.